Hello and welcome QCTV sports fans, friends, and family. We have another episode of That Sports Show. I am That Sports Show host, That Ryan Mush Pierce. And in this episode of That Sports Show, we'll be looking at Andover, Champlin, and Anoka and catching up with them at the mid-season point. We're already at the mid-season point of the fall sports season, and our teams have just been battling, not only the opponents, but the weather and the elements. So, without further ado, Andy, roll that intro. And now we have those Andover Huskies cross-country runners. They are about 2/3 of the way through the season, so we caught up with them to see how the season's been going and what they expect for the rest of the season. We talked to all 4 senior captains, and we started off with Marcus Larson. Hey, Marcus, tell us the down low.
This is one of the biggest groups we've had. We got 40 people, but the team bond couldn't be larger. Like everybody here knows each other. Everybody here is seemingly best friends, and that really goes a long way, especially in practices, especially in meets, because everybody's comfortable around each other. Everybody's not afraid to be themselves.
Yeah, I think it's weird to train with each other every day, and then you get to a race and there's some of your biggest competitors. I know for me, my group, we stick together in the race, and then it comes down to the last mile or so. And so just compete against each other and know each other's race styles it's fun to see everyone do differently in practice and races.
We have Bunker Park over there that has just a ton of hills and just a ton of grass that you can run on, so it just kind of simulates a cross-country course.
I think this year, knowing where I'm coming into the season, my time goal isn't necessarily as important of making sure the team's ready to carry on in future years, because we do have such a young team this year and a lot of very good athletes that I think will be great in the future. So seeing them building up confidence in their own running and confidence in our own team, I think is more important, making them know that they can do it, than me hitting a time goal this year. So my goal for this year is probably just to make sure that the other girls have the tools and skills they need to keep competing.
I want to try to qualify for a nationals this year. I feel like I can definitely get up there. And for team, I would say we're I feel good contenders for state this year, in our section. It's going to be a battle against us in Duluth East, but I think we can definitely get up there and qualify for state as a team.
Now we're going to take a look at those Anoka Tornadoes. We have a couple game recaps for you coming up. We have Coon Rapids versus Anoka girls volleyball. Those highlights will be brought to you by Jim Childs. And we also have football, Osseo versus Anoka. What a nail-biter of a game that was. Those highlights are brought to you by Steve Thompson. Hey, Jim, take it away.
Wednesday nights on QCTV, it was Northwest Suburban volleyball as the Anoka Tornadoes 3-4 take on the Coon Rapids Cardinals. And in the first set, the Tornadoes came out swinging with Hayden Reeder dominating performance and a little help from her friends with Z McLaughlin with the kill. Dominating, went through many streaks, a 5-point streak and a 7-point streak at one time for the Tornadoes. They end up taking the first set 25-11. They go to the second set. More good Tornado volleyball as they were able to keep Coon Rapids off pace as a good block at the net. Good net play tonight by the Tornadoes. And the young Cardinals really at times were just a little frustrated with where they were at. And Reeder, when they needed her, came through for their Tornadoes. Ended up taking the second set 25-9. In the third set, Coon Rapids began to put up some fight right there. A good serve by Adara Yang, and she had some good serves tonight, along with the rest of the Coon Rapids Cardinals. They were able to keep it close, but the Tornadoes came up late in the game with the winner 25-9 or 25-20. Coon Rapids in straight sets on QCTV.
It was Otsio at Anoka Goodrich Field tonight, and the Orioles grabbed the early lead. A touchdown run by Mikey Criswell, and then the Tornadoes came right back. Long touchdown run by quarterback Blake Sieben from 52 yards out, and Anoka hanging right in there, and then they would come right back. Touchdown run there by Brody Rush. And the Tornadoes led 19-14 at the half. On to the third quarter. Here's Sieben scrambling. Terrific run along the sideline before he got taken down inside the 40-yard line. And then Sieben again to the end zone. This would lead to an interference call, and the Tornadoes would keep the drive alive. On to the fourth. Seesaw battle. Back and forth they go. Sieben sacked for a huge loss. And then a fake punt pulled off here by Braylon Eidsvog set up the Orioles for a go-ahead touchdown. And another touchdown run for Mikey Criswell, his third of the night. Tornadoes weren't done. And a touchdown run there for Brody Rush, his second of the night. Back and forth these teams go. And then the Orioles would ultimately grab the lead. A reverse touchdown pass here to Johnson. Johnson would take it into the end zone. Zamir Johnson, a big catch. And the Orioles would hang on for a 29-25 victory tonight over the Anoka Tornadoes. They had their opportunities late, but couldn't cash in. Orioles win it here on QCTV.
And now we come up on those Champlin Park Rebels. This time we have football Centennial versus Champlin Park. Those highlights will also be brought to you by Jim Childs. We have soccer, Spring Lake Park versus Champlin Park, brought to you by Joe Ruland. Hey Andy, was that girls or boys? That is the girls game. There you go. We got the info straight from the booth. And then last, we're going to look at the Champlin Park girls tennis. We'll be catching up with head coach Brad Gullickson and some of their seniors to get their outlook on the season.
Two teams trying to go to 3-0 at Champlin Park High School football action Centennial. First play of the second quarter Their quarterback, Belinsky Strauss, a 1-yard run, 7-0. Then their field goal kicker, 49-yarder with the win, mind you, but still, Justin Driver made it 10-0. Champlain Park trying to come back. Preston Nelson has been and was their main running back. They got down to the 1, but then lost some yardage, forced to kick the field goal. Trace Fitzgerald from 21 yards out. It was 10-3 Centennial. And then a surprise play. They go to the air. And the running back Coppersmith out of the backfield. 24-yard pass play from Belinsky Strauss. 17-3 is the score at halftime in favor of Centennial. They come right back out. Another touchdown run by Belinsky Strauss. He had 3 on the night. And Champlain Park finally got on the board here. Their late possession. Nelson with a 25-yard run. Fitzgerald's kick was good. 31-10 ends up being the final. Centennial wins and they stay undefeated as they go 3-0.
Monday Night Lights on QCTV. This was a classic. Spring Lake Park visiting Champlain Park, the Rebels. This was a pure keeper's clinic, but late in that first half, getting by, Sam Harbaugh finds a small margin and buries that shot back of the net, up 1-0. Beautiful saves continued throughout the night. Finally countering here on a double header. That's right, a double header. And Viv Smith collects her first of 2 goals on the night, and we're tied at 1-1. Both teams continuing to battle hard. Finally, a look here, down low, save and gobbled up. And a save was made by Britt Gore. She's on her way to Colorado University next year to play soccer. Both of the keepers on these teams worthy of all-state honors. A backhand, there it is, a header from the back door. We're tied at 2-2 right after a good save, and now slipping it by Lee at the 39th minute to get it by Gorsh, and we're tied 2-2 at half. Both teams continue to challenge and battle at it, trying to find the gaps, chipped away. Now, late, another late shot, a clean save made by Gorsh as well. I said it was a keeper's classic, and it is. Both of them came out to play well tonight. Another good late shot, and there's Kresbach, the freshman, playing at a high level. Finally, this one slipped, lifted right over the top of the left foot by Lee. Her second goal of the game, 13th of the season. That gives the Rebels a 3-2 lead they would not relinquish following a beautiful save by Kresbach again. A good game followed up, and both teams find their way off to a 3-2 win in favor of the Rebels from Champlain Park High School.
Consistency is definitely something that's always strive for to be achieved because it's really important in tennis, but also adding aggression is also really important.
In the past, we kind of just have been an aggressive attack type team, and we have, that's something that's really important to us. We've been trying to just make sure that we get all of our shots in, trying to be more consistent.
I have played since I was 7 years old, and I'm 55, so we're 48 years of playing tennis. Grew up in Fargo and played high school tennis and college tennis in North Dakota. I want them to get better at tennis by playing a lot of tennis and have a good time doing it. And I think, the more they have fun playing, the more likely they are to practice outside of our practices and get better.
So it definitely is an individual sport. That's something I've really noticed. You are on a team, but once you get out on the court, it is kind of just a you for you thing.
Really focus on staying in the match, not getting distracted in the matches around me or the people walking by or talking to you or whatever. and really focusing on the next point and just like clearing your mind of whatever happened before that.
I do think something that helps is we always have like team group meetings right before games. We always talk over like what's our strategy, how are we going to attack this other opponent, what's our game plan, and that does kind of help like bring us together as a team, I would say.
Really want to just feel grooved and good. So when we're practicing, we're trying to hit a ton of tennis balls and put them in game type situations.
My goals this season is definitely obviously to win. I hope to win as much matches as I can. Also, I want to get my serve stronger and add more pace to it, definitely.
You know, just expect a lot of close matches. You know, we played 2 matches last Friday and they were both 4-3. One of them we won, one of them we lost. So I think we're gonna have a lot of really close competitive matches.
All right, and that is a wrap on this week's That Sports Show. On our next show, it will be wrapping up the fall season. Yes, it is going by so fast, and we'll be having section previews on that show, so watch out for that in a couple weeks. But until then, like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. It's That Sports Show.